Hey man, I live every single day trying to die. And every day I gotta wake up.
I'm on my rocker. I was crazy when I was 10. Hey, you shitting me?
We live in such despair that all we do is, that's the alcoholism aspect. We do whatever we can 24/7 to numb ourselves to this.
They said I was drug seeking.
Were you?
No, I was not. No. I drink alcohol. That's my drug.
Yeah.
If they find out you're from the Preble Street or homeless area, they automatically assume without even knowing anything about you that you're there to seek drugs, and it's been a lot worse as of late.
The two major things are alcoholism, drug addiction, and mental illness. A lot of them kind of go hand in hand. Also, a lot of these guys have lost their families and they're not in contact with their families, so the depression and sort of self-loathing stuff that comes out sometimes, these guys are walking around with it.
I've been dealing with some rage issues and things like that my whole life. Been on some medications. Try not to take them, but try to be okay when I don't take them. Use other things to try and, get around it, but it doesn't always work the right way. You know what I mean?
The condition that we call dual diagnosis is a combination of usually advanced substance abuse to the point of addiction often, combined with and usually arising out of a major psychiatric disorder. It's really a medical problem because they cannot control the drinking, they cannot control the effects of the drug, they cannot control the effects of their own mental illness.
I get into all the bad. You got to get into all the bad and see it, and let it be purported however people want to look at it and see it, and then let them see that and actually feel like.
Typically, the normal patient is somebody that, number one, cares about themselves, is a little bit forward-looking, and is somebody that if a doctor tells you to do something, they usually do it. These are not the people that we work with.
I'm not gonna seek health care to try and preserve a life that fucking has no meaning or use.
Something needs to change here. I've seen people have like the worst experiences going into the hospital. Let's say that they get into the hospital and they get treated with just as much abuse and made to feel less than as they did in their life.
Well, I went to and they treated me like a piece of shit because I was a IV drug user, and pretty much just seen me and then pretty much told me to bounce.
There are two kinds of doctors: the ones that really feel and care for you, and the ones that just look at you as a homeless, drug-seeking individual.
For an active alcoholic, the last thing you want, number one, is to stop drinking, and number two is to do what you're told and sit down and take your meds and just hang tight. For the staff in the hospital, they see him coming again for the 20th time. Here's so-and-so. Number one, he's a pain in the ass. He doesn't want to be here. Doesn't do what he's told. And no matter what we do here, he's not going to follow through. So why try?
So I was on the streets at 8 years old for abuse and neglect, and I'm not homeless now, and I'm doing well. But I want people to understand how important it is to understand each case-by-case base, of each person you meet that's homeless. They all have their own story and what they went through, and you got to understand, you have to look at their needs, not their faults.
The discussion ought to be around how do we serve these folks better, how do we treat them better, not how do we get them to fit into our model and keep that model rigid and unchanging.